You are very welcome to this video. In part 2 of creating a skiving knife, we're going to cut some leather from the patterns that we made last time, or the pattern should I say that we made last time. And what I thought I would do is I would try to stamp the leather with a basket weave stamp. Again, this is something I've never done before, so we're going to give it a go. Now, I'm lying a little bit because this is actually take 2. The first time I tried to make this, I made such a mess of it that I've had to start again, quite simply. So, first of all, on the first run we had a sheath which was 46 by 68. Now the problem there is that the knife is not actually straight along here. So when it's in the sheath, it can move. I don't know if you can see that. It's not straight here, so it can move. And that means it can move by about 2 millimeters inside the sheath. So what I've done is I've added an extra 2 millimeters to the template. So if you have a look at the old one and the new one, you can see there is an extra 2 millimeters on the top. Okay, so that's part 1. So let's actually cut. Now, as I'm going to be stamping, I want it a bit oversized, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw around 2 of these templates. So there's one. I'll leave a suitable space, and then there's number 2. Right, now for the easy part, I'm just going to cut a line, doesn't matter, just there, and this time I shall use a straight edge of some sort, just to make sure I don't do anything too stupid when I'm going in between. So I've cut the 2 pieces of leather. I'll again use a bit of a straight edge here. It was a good thing I did that, because I made a mess of that piece. Right, now as you can see, I don't know if you can see the line of the template there, but I've actually cut it oversize. Now this is what I learnt from my first disaster, was that if you're going to be stamping, it's going to misshape the leather, and so if you cut it exactly to size then stamp it, you're going to find that your piece of leather is, as you can see, it makes a bit of a mess, and it's actually bowed it out a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape, and if I can find the end. Why is it you can never find the end of your tape? Anybody who designs tape that with a findable end is going to make an absolute fortune. They really are. So just a bit over on that one. And just a bit over on that one. Right. So now the reason for the tape is to stop the leather stretching, which is what happened here, and to stop the leather bowing. So that's the reason for the tape. And so the next thing I need to do now is just trim the tape a little so it looks quite good. Probably not necessary, but it is for me. Oops. Who would have thought it? Tape is sticky. Oh dear. Oops. Yeah, you see, I can't even cut a piece of tape properly. And I have been practicing cutting, I have. So I need to practice more. Right, so that's the tape. Okay, so I'm now going to wet the leather. Now, again, I'm not certain as to how much wetting is needed. So we'll just try wetting it a little bit and see how much wetting it takes. Now, this seems to be taking quite a lot of wetting, actually. There seems to be some sort of coating on it, I think. Right, we'll leave that to soak in and dry. I need a towel. I'll come back once the surface is dry and it's ready for stamping. Okay, the surface feels a bit too dry, but we'll live with that. So the first thing I want to do is I need to draw or mark some lines on the leather as to where I want the stamping to go. Now this is set to 3mm, so I shall just check that. It is still set to 3mm. So what I'm going to do is, actually, knowing my skills, that's probably not a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure in 3mm from the edge and just make a mark on the outside there. That's interesting. I can't see that mark very well. I can when it's like that. Okay, so it's 3mm there. This is just because I'm a bit OCD and I probably didn't need to do it. But what I want to do is I just want to draw a line like that, just to tell me where my... That's not a very good line. I think I'm going to have to measure this. So 3mm to 3mm. So if I draw a line like that, 3mm to 3mm, a line like that, and a line like that. Now that is the stitching line, approximately. So I know that that's the edge that I want the stitching to be. So the next thing I need to do is I need to decide am I going to go right to the edge, or am I going to make a pattern inside? And I think I'm going to make a pattern inside. So from there I'm going to come in another 3mm, and make a mark, 3mm, and along the top 3mm, and for that one 3mm, and we need to come in 3mm from there, so that's about there, and 3mm from there. Now I'm doing this the hard way because quite simply I don't have the skills to do it the easy way, and the easy way is to do it by eye, which is what you see all the professionals doing. Okay, so what I've done is I've got a number of lines on here, and the important one for the stamping is this one, this box in the centre, which is where I'm going to stamp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from one corner to the other corner, and that's, oops, this is the problem with a corkback ruler, it doesn't want to do that last bit of sliding. Okay, right, so that's my reference line to start stamping, because I'm going to stamp diagonally. Okay, so there could be some banging and clattering going on now, so let's just move everything out the way, and then hopefully there isn't too much banging and clattering. We'll see. Leave those there. Okay, so let's try a bit of stamping. So put the iron, stamp upright. A bit difficult to see, but you might just be able to see a mark. I've actually put one end right up against this line and the other end is on the diagonal line, and so that's where I'm going to hit my first stamp. So I think we'll try a bit more. One thing I've noticed when I was doing the other one was that you actually do have to hit quite hard, because I don't have a granite block, so I think my next purchase will be a trip to the DIY store to pick up a granite block. Don't know if you can see that, but we're trying to follow this diagonal line down, all the way down. So I shall go and do all of that and come back when I've finished doing that. Right, so you can see I'm close to the edges. There isn't quite a space for a full, or there might be just space there for a full one, but on the others there isn't. I'm going to overlap. So now what I have to do is I have to tilt the tool into a different position. So we will just do that last one because it looks like it will just fit on the line. So I'll just do that. And I've made a mess of that, but never mind. Okay, so we now need to do this one here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt the tool in that direction. Okay, so let me make sure it's straight, and then that's not bad. That's not bad. It's not quite right, but it's not bad. So that's the first line. I'm now going to complete the rest, and I'll come back when I've finished doing that. Right, well, I've now done all of the basket weave. It's not perfect. There are a number of places where I've made a couple of errors, but it's not bad for, as I say, a first attempt. The impressions are in general easy to see. Now, whether I should have done this first or second, I don't know, but I'm now going to actually cut down this section here, and I'm going to try and put a border in. So I have the swivel knife. Not 100% sure how it's used, but we're going to give it a go. Now, the first thing I'm told is that you need to strop it. That feels flat, so that edge probably needs work. It is quite sharp, but it probably needs work. So let's have a go. Now, I'm told that you hold it like that, and then using the pointy bit you cut into the leather and you follow the line. And this is where I'm going to have lots and lots of problems because the light's in the wrong direction. Let's try doing it like that. So very, very slowly. This knife is not very sharp actually. It is sharp, but I think it could be somewhat sharper. Sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but unfortunately I need to see. I need the light. So that's that one. that one. The lines aren't as straight as I would like for my cutting. Don't know if I'll be able to do anything with that, but I am trying to follow the line, but it's not. I'm actually having difficulty seeing my original line. So just prick that. I think that knife could do with some work. So as you can see, I've cut it. It's not straight, but I'm sure it's close. So let's find a suitable shading tool just to shade the edge there. Now I need something quite small. That, I think, is what I'm looking for, or possibly that one. Those are the ones, so we'll try those. Because it's small, I'm going to use this one. So now, of course, you're supposed to sort of run it down the line, but I have no idea how to do that, so we'll just do this bit by bit, and we'll come back when I finish. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks a bit of a dog's dinner at the moment. I'll need to go over it again, but we'll just go all the way. We'll just go all the way round and then see what it looks like. But it does look a bit of a dog's dinner at the moment. Right, this tool actually needs a lot less pressure than the basket weave tool, which of course is a sensible one because the end is much smaller. I'm actually getting the shape that I want. It's just not looking very pretty at the moment, so we'll continue, and I'll come back when I've done all of it. Right, so I've put the shader around the edge, so I've got this dropped edge. It's not very pretty. There's lots of marks and things like that shouldn't be there, and I've got no idea how to actually get rid of them. There must be a way, but I don't know what it is. What it has done is sort of tidied up the edge of the basket weave, so the bits that were missing are missing. I'm going to have to go round again because it's not flat. You can see each of the hammer hits as you go round. So I'm going to have to go round again and do that. So, but that's basically it. Now I'm going to then have to leave this to dry until it's as dry as this piece here. And once it is as dry as that, I can then start working on it. But I don't know if you can see, but it's already started to get a bit of a... It's not quite square, so what I might do when I actually finally cut it out is put the template over the top again and make sure that it is square. I'll on that. Okay, so I'd like to know what you think. How should I have done that? How can I get rid of these? I don't know if you can see them. The edges are not straight. How do I do that? How do I get rid of that? I hope you liked this video. If you did, please do hit the like button and subscribe, not forgetting to hit the bell icon for more videos. If you didn't like the video, please hit the dislike button and tell me why in the comments below, as it's always very useful.